first day of my calendar is a pistachio energy ball, which is like, I've always been wanting to try these. So I will. And we're gonna walk to that later, and what's better than an energy ball? So, success. Cheers. Guys, I'm back from a hike. I got out, it's hot, caramelized apple pie tea, caramel apple pie, and I'm calling it a hike and not a walk because it was first 7 kilometers long, and also there was a bit more dedication involved than in a walk because I packed water and snacks, which I normally don't do if I go on a walk because sometimes I take some water, but normally I don't. And I only ate the energy ball that I got from my advent calendar, which was fine. You couldn't taste the pistachio that well because I feel like with energy balls, this date flavor, it's always very strong. And so I just basically ate the pistachio cream in the middle by itself, and then you could taste it, but very nice, very nourishing. And I think they were like, how do you call cocoa nibs or something in it, or like something with cocoa. Very nice. And honestly, it was such a great walk. I'm so happy now. My heart is very, very full, and I generally just really like to spend time with myself and like in solitude. I am a fan of like meeting people and spending time with people, but I also really like to spend time with myself. And so I really enjoy going on walks, and I should do it more often because like if you have this beautiful nature like very close, like I've been on this walk for 2 hours total, and I was like walking along the river the whole time, and that was so beautiful. So I recommend it. Being in nature is always so inspiring and grounding and calming. And I mean, I wasn't even alone. There were like so many other people, and I don't know if this is a German thing or like a nature hiking thing that you greet everyone, but I probably greeted like 20 people at least, and sometimes I even was the first to greet them. Normally I wait if they greet me, and if they greet me then I greet back. But sometimes I was like, hi. I was the one greeting them, so that was very, very nice. Now I'm going to do some journaling because I highly recommend a new podcast. It's called, I think, Finding Your Casual Magic by Unjaded Jade, one of the best podcasts. And there was an episode recently about finding and creating purpose, and about like identifying your core values and then having these core values and kind of acting upon them when thinking about creating your purpose. So I want to do some journaling about core values and about purpose, which I think is a very important topic. And I don't think I really feel purposeless. I feel like I'm kind of at a point where I'm already finding my purpose, or where I find things that feel impactful to me and that I want to do during my life. Just like helping people in some way, being curious and finding out new things. Just there are like a few things I really like to do, and so I want to kind of identify those core values and so to have like kind of guiding principle for how I maybe want to outline my life, because now with decisions about what I want to do in the future, that plays an even bigger role to find out what I want to do and where I want to go. That's what I'm planning to do now. And I also haven't done reading today, so I might do some reading and maybe work on my master's applications, because Sunday is like day of rest and not working, but master's application is something that's I have to get going at some point, and I do have some time for that probably today. So this is my plan for like the next hour or two, and then we'll see each other again. Okay, so I got this values worksheet that's were in the podcast notes of the episode I just mentioned, to determine your personal values. And so first there's self-reflection. What qualities do you most appreciate in others, in yourself? What does that say about what you value? What would you do if money and other people's opinions didn't matter? What are you doing when time flies, etc.? And there's a fast values exercise where you just set a timer for 2 minutes and click everything, like check everything that applies to you. And then it's about core values. and where you just write down some of the values you checked and what actions you can take that are in line with that value. So we're going to do that now. I think the first value exercise we're going to do on the iPad, but the rest we're going to do on paper. Okay, so all of these values are important to me, and now I have to rank them from most to least important, which is going to be very difficult because it's so many. I've narrowed it down a little to some that seemed a bit more important, and now I'm going to rate these by importance again. Okay, so this is how it looks like now. So for example, passion is really one of the most important things, but I thought, for example, reading is a passion for me, music too, and creativity is kind of connected to passion, so they're together. The same with like calmness, balance, and mindfulness, which is very important to me, but there's also kind of linked together. Then I also link kindness with self-compassion, because I feel like self-compassion is kind of a bit like kindness to yourself, and not entirely related to that, but just also very important to me is equality, so that's why it's also on number 3. Then I got curiosity and learning, and also connected with that, travel at 4. At 5 there's relationships, that just, and I also think there's like friendship, love, and family in here, and I also kind of count that to relationships a bit. And then at 6 I have health, and 7 I have growth, but I think growth might even be a little more important than that to me. I'm not sure yet. And then I have the environment at 8, which I mean also kind of connects to so many of the things, like if there's, for example, climate change going on, and for example nature, which is very important to me, is distracted and I can't be as calm as I normally would. That affects a lot of things. So I think maybe I'll narrow it down a bit more at some point, but it's like nothing you just like, you don't just like take half an hour and suddenly know what your core values are entirely. So this will need some more figuring out and some more time, but I'm very happy with what I did. So now we're going to have lunch. Okay, this took longer than I expected. It's currently 5:30 p.m. I worked on this for 2.5 hours, and I'm frankly exhausted.